Dennis?
Oh, Dennis? Dennis, how's Sharon?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't had a chance to speak to her today.
Oh, stupid question, right. And what about you? How are you feeling?
Well, Sharon's the important one, you know. How long did I know him for? A year or so? It was nothing.
He still managed to bring your world crashing down round your ears, didn't he? Even in that short time.
Well, it kind of answers your question then, doesn't it? How I'm feeling.
I knew I shouldn't have stayed last night.
Why not?
Because I knew you'd feel bad about it in the morning.
What have I got to feel bad about?
Well, you weren't feeling too good yesterday, were you?
Den's dead. End of story.
Yeah, but you loved him. Look, you woke up in tears at least twice. And you were talking in your sleep.
Yeah, I'm going to make you coffee. I made a fresh pot about 10 minutes ago.
Right.
Help yourself. There's plenty for Jake, too. Look, I just needed someone. I know. You had Dennis. Did I?
What are you doing?
I'm doing what I normally do every morning. I'm having my run.
Not today, Dennis.
Life goes on, Dot.
Yeah, but sometimes it takes a little pause so as people can show some respect.
Respect. That's what you earn, isn't it?
Oh, Dennis, don't be like this.
Who knows how many will be there. Count them on the fingers of one hand, from what Pauline was saying to me. Even Vicky's decided to stay away.
Yeah, well, Dan had a fair few people gunning for him at the end, didn't he?
Yeah, I suppose he did.
And not just my Sam.
Are you going to sing?
Well, I'm not planning on swelling the congregation. I thought it was about time I concentrated on the living.
Right. So what are you going to say?
Nothing. I'm just going to listen. And like you said, Billy, that'll make a nice change, won't it? But if you're right and my Sam really is innocent, then I'll be saying a fair bit then. And asking a few questions. Chrissy.
Oh,
What time do you want the food brought in?
doesn't seem worth bringing in outside catering. Hardly going to be the feeding of the 5,000, is it?
Well, it has to be done properly.
Yeah, I know. We'll tell them to bring it round any time, lay it out.
Right, so any time after the funeral director's gone then? Well, you don't want it all laid out while it's all, you know, going on in here.
What are you talking about? Orders of service for today.
Yeah, I saw him last night. Yeah, I'll pick mine up later. I'm sweating conquers right now.
Is this true? That you're bringing the coffin back to the Vic?
What?
But you knew we were starting the funeral from here. No, I knew the vicar was going to say a few words. I never for 1 minute thought you were going to bring the coffin inside. But it's tradition to start the procession from home. Chrissy, I'm sorry, I just took it for granted. Well, I wish you'd told me. I just think under the circumstances, it's not very... Circumstances don't alter the fact that this is where Dad lived. Oh.
Hey, Gus, you thought any more about that trip?
What's there to think about? A few days away from this place. I'm blatantly up for that.
Oh, nice one.
Your sister be okay though, yeah? Put us up.
Oh, yeah, you're my mate, ain't you?
And Martin?
Oh, he's got her, ain't he? He's one against the van. It's going to be great. A couple of days with my sister, fill the van up with cheap booze from Frenchy Land, and I'm going to throw my mum a birthday party that she'll never forget. La, 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 la.
Keep it down a bit.
Oh, I'm sorry, Don, I'm talking about my booze cruise here.
There's a funeral going on today, if you hadn't noticed.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not exactly the done thing, is it, for Chrissy to be burying her husband to the sound of the French can-can?
Sorry, Dad, I wasn't thinking. Martin, it's on. The 3 musket beers are ready to roll. And it's perfect timing because Dawn's got something to tell me.
Well, I hope you have a good time then. I can't find anyone to cover the stall, can I?
What?
I'm serious, Mickey. Can't find anyone.
Well, where's Sonia?
Oh, she's up to her eyes with it for this survey for her course, isn't she? Sorry, mate. You have to find someone else.
It's only right, Dennis. Look, I know a lot of people might think it's weird, but whatever happened, this was always the place Dad came back to.
I really should have given it a miss that last time, eh?
You don't think I should have done this, do you think I'm wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong.
But?
But nothing. Whatever you think.
What do you think?
Whatever you want to do, it's fun.
You are good, I'll give you that. You've come this far and no one's rumbled you yet. No one's seen through those crocodile tears.
He was my husband, Kat.
Yeah. I bet that was a great comfort to him when you were smashing his skull into little bits. I'm no saint, fair enough, but I've never done nothing like that. And anything I have done wrong, I've paid for. It makes a big difference, believe me. It means it don't eat you up. In your head, day after day. Especially today.
That bloke, that uncle of yours who interfered with you, what would you have done to him given half the chance?
Smashed his skull into little bits. But then I'd be telling the whole world about it. Probably be shouting it off the rooftops. I wouldn't have tried blaming it on someone else, that's for sure. Actually, Chrissy, part of me does believe you. I reckon a bit of you did love them. Once, anyway.
Oh, more than a bit, Kat.
And that's the bit that's tearing you in two. You loved him, but you did that to him. I reckon today is going to be one of the worst days of your life.
And you think I hadn't worked that one out for myself?
Something happened. Why did you need to see me so urgently, Mum? Mum? Why aren't you saying anything to me?
Because I reckon it's time. I did a bit of listening instead.
Don't understand.
Did you do it? Did you kill Dan?
Why do you think I'm in this place? Go on, ask this lot.
I'm asking you. I want you to look me in the eye and tell me straight, what have we got here? Is this you in over your head and giving up because you can't see any way out? Because I don't know what to believe anymore.
But you're my mum. And I'm your daughter. Shouldn't you know?
Boy, Michael.
Look, this booze cruise are yours.
Oh, what booze cruise? One mate's already got a wall, no van.
Jim's got a van.
Well, it's a sort of shooting breaks.
Look, it doesn't matter what you call it, man. The point is there's room for lots of laughing, Jules.
Me and Patrick, we do like a good laugh, I'll tell you.
Sex, drugs and rock and roll.
Well, I don't know about some of that, you know.
Look, the point is, we are your man, all right?
Yeah, well, I'll get back to you with that, shall I? If I'm desperate.
Maybe you should lend them your doorstop.
They're here.
Right. Let's get this over and done with, shall we?
Is that it? Let's get this over and done with.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to lie.
This is your father's funeral.
He's your father.
That's the only reason you're going through today, is it? For me?
What do you want me to say?
Well, I want you to say that there's a tiny bit of you that's feeling sorry right now.
For him?
For everything that went wrong. For the fact that he's lying in that box and you're feeling like this
And what
about
good's
him.
that gonna
At least
do?
then you'd be showing some feelings. Dennis, this is the last chance you're going to get. Make your peace.
Peace?
Yes. So he's not hanging over us for the rest of our lives. It's the last chance we are going to get to let all this go.
What, forgive and forget?
To move on. What's today about if it's not about that?
I'll tell you what today's about, shall I? Yeah, part of it's about being there for you and supporting you.
And the other part?
This is all about a dad you loved and lost, right? Who loved and lost you.
Yeah.
Well, at least that means there was love there in the first place.
You and him were always going to be complicated. You knew that.
That man
Dennis.
is everything that's screwed up and twisted in my life, and that's why I'm going to this funeral, to see all that go to hell.
Oh, and I'm supposed to stand next to you, am I? Knowing all that's going through your head, all that hate, all that anger.
I'm going. You can't ask me for anything else.
I'm grieving here. I'm trying to say goodbye and you're practically going to be letting off fireworks.
It's the best I can do.
Yeah, well, it's not good enough.
Billy says you haven't got it in you. And I'd never really thought about it before. I just thought that Den pushed you, like he pushed everyone, and you cracked. But Billy's right, isn't he? You haven't got anything like that in you. You never had.
That's amazing. You've just told me that I'm not a murderer, and you actually sound disappointed.
Oh. So is this what this is all about? Why you went along with everything I said? You just didn't want to disappoint me?
Well, I should be used to that by now, don't you think?
You don't disappoint me, Sam. You never have.
What, compared to Phil and Grant?
You're different to them, that's all.
Weaker, you mean, don't you? And more feeble. A lot more feeble.
Different.
You know, when I saw your face when I walked in that door the last time, it's your expression. I couldn't work it out at first because I don't think I'd ever seen it before. It was like for the first time in my life, I'd done something right.
I'd never call what happened to Den what's right.
Okay, but something that the boys would do. Something that wasn't right, but something that wasn't all that wrong either. Something that you would talk about with your friends in the pub over a drink, and you'd say, look, you know, I wish it hadn't happened, of course, but goes to show no one messes with a Mitchell, do they? And it was nice, Mum. Seeing you look at me like that. It was really nice.
I'm proud of you in a different way to the boys.
No, you're not.
And so what if you're not like them? It's no one's fault.
You know, you get a lot of time to do a lot of thinking when you're in a place like this.
Yeah. You get a lot of time to make up a lot of stories and all, don't you? One minute you give the impression that you did kill Den. Next minute you're not saying.
And now I'm wondering whether me being like this, being different to the boys, and you do mean weaker, Mum, you do mean more feeble, whether deep down that actually suited you. So I know what I'm like. I always have, but who made me like that? Who made sure of it?
Well, it was Sharon's wishes.
Yeah, what about yours? Where is she anyway?
It's just one prayer, right?
Psalm 121.
Excuse me, Vicar. Where's Dennis?
He's not coming.
What do you mean he's not coming?
It's just me. So I'll make a start, shall we?
I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, who hath made heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip, He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun shall not strike thee by day, neither shall the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. Yea, it is he that shall keep thee safe. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore.
I mean, you must have thanked your lucky stars when I popped out. A little girl, all sugar and spice and all things nice.
Well, it's nice to have a girl after 2 boys. Every mum wants that.
Well, especially after those 2. Like handfuls like Phil and Grant. And then there was Dad. I mean, hardly a shrinking violet himself, was he?
I don't understand what you're saying.
A bit intimidating, wasn't it? All those male hormones rushing around must have made you feel like you weren't quite in control anymore.
I've never been intimidated in my life.
Oh, Mum, come on. Dad did more than intimidate you quite a few times, as I remember.
Yeah? And I could always give as good as I got.
That's the Mitchell rule, isn't it? You stand your corner, you stand and fight. My earliest memory, right from the start, is you saying, look, leave her alone, she's scared. She's only a girl. And then Phil and Grant and Dad would laugh and just pick me up and swing me around like a doll. And you know what, Mum? Part of me loved it. And part of me would look at you and think, I'm not scared. Why do you keep telling everyone that I am? Like making me out to be some sort of precious object that no one can go near.
I never did that. You got it wrong.
And, Mum, I was a kid. Just a kid. And if someone tells you something over and over again, you start to believe it. And then you become that.
You're remembering this all wrong.
And I'm thinking, why? Why did it happen? Was it like that with Billy? Because he was always the weakest link, wasn't he, as well? Like the runt of the litter. And what did he do? He took it out on Jamie, because he told me so himself. Because he was the bottom of the pile, wasn't he? And the first chance he had, the first opportunity, he found someone who was even lower down that pile than him. Someone that he could dominate, just like everyone else was dominating him.
You think I did that to you?
Oh, Mum, look, maybe everyone does it to everyone. And maybe everyone finds someone to kick, and when you can't find someone, you kick the cat. Or the youngest daughter. Look, I'm not trying to have a go at you, okay?
Well, I'd hate to hear you when you are.
But yeah, I think it made you feel good having me turn out like that. Because you weren't in control of the boys, were you, for as long as I can remember? And Dad, well... But me, I never got out of my box, did I? The one that you put me in.
Sad, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't suppose Dan finds it too amusing.
There's only going to be a few people there. And then he was a legend around there, wasn't he?
But I suppose it's a bit like a wedding.
What?
Well, there's never the same amount of fuss the second time round, is there? Anyway, Gus, about this little trip of ours.
All of this going on, and all you can talk about is the trip? You're a sick man sometimes, Mickey. Do you know that?
This reminds me of the first time we did this. You doing your disappearing act and all of us wondering whether you were going to put in an appearance or not. It was wrong for you to stay away from that funeral. It's wrong for Dennis to stay away from this. It doesn't matter what he thought about his father.
Dennis isn't staying away. Not out of choice, anyway. I told him not to come.
They decided to close today. Mark of respect.
You okay, mate?
Yeah, just all that stuff with Demi. Leo. You know, something like this brings it all back.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it does.
That's why I want to see Dawn again, too. She's my sister. It's the same old thing, every Christmas and birthday. Or maybe we'll see her soon. Maybe she'll come over next time. They're just words. No one does anything about it. It ain't because we don't care. It's because no one knows how to make the first move, how to fix it. Not even neither do I. Not really, but if I don't try...
What needs to be fixed?
It's just family stuff.
Oh, always the worst kind, innit?
And that's why I keep going on about this van. It's like I've done all the hard work. I've got in touch. She said, great, come over and see her. Now, all of a sudden, I haven't got a van. I can't get there.
We'll get there, mate.
But you got a crystal ball in you.
No, but I guess a van.
How?
Just leave it with me. You're right. It's important. Family.
Of course, all that about me treating you different, that could be just some excuse. Some load of old cobblers you made up, just to make you feel better about yourself.
Well, you would say that, wouldn't you, Mum?
And so would you. But we're never really gonna know, are we? We can keep on doing this till the cows come home, going back over what's been done and dusted. But in the end, all that really matters is not what happened then, but what happens now.
Well, not too much is going to happen for me now, is it? Not that I want to think about, anyway.
Well, let's see, shall we? Now, I talked a lot of rubbish before and you didn't put me right. But everything that's been said today, that's come from you, it's come from the heart. Not sure I agree with some of it, but that doesn't matter. The point is, it's the truth as you see it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So now I'm asking you for more of the same. The truth about what happened to Den, as you saw it. You were there, so let's face it, you should know. No games. No telling me what you think I do or don't want to hear. Did you kill Den Watts?
No.
And that's the truth.
100%.
So who did?
Chrissy. And then she framed me. She framed me and she put me in here.
We commit our brother Dennis to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Thou art the King of glory, O Christ.
Thou art the everlasting Son of the Father.
Thou sittest at the right hand of God, in the glory of the Father.
We believe that thou shalt come to be our judge.
We therefore pray thee, help thy servants.
Whom thou hast redeemed with thy precious blood.
Make them to be numbered with thy saints.
In glory everlasting.
Is that Dennis?
What's going on? Dennis should be here. This feels all wrong.
That's how Dennis feels. Which is why he's not here.
Right, come on in this one. Good?
Hey! Yeah, ain't he got a funeral to go to?
Must have got the times wrong.
Yeah, well, the pub's still closed, isn't it? I'm sure Jim said the service was at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, well, it's all his heading practice. Turn your brains to mush, mate.
And you still got work to do.
Loads, Mickey, loads.
Yeah, but Ian's away.
Yeah, more the cat's away.
Gus.
Wait. You leave him alone, all right? He's got a booze cruise to sort out.
Just taking my ball.
What booze cruise?
Hello? Jules? Yeah. Yeah, what's happening, bro?
The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth forevermore. Amen.
Thank you. I was asked to say a few words today. And I've been thinking long and hard about what those words should be. I'm sure all of us have things that we'd like to say. To Den. About Den. And I should think a lot of us have had a conversation with him already today. Up here. I know I certainly have. I'm not going to stand here today and pretend that Den was a saint. He wasn't. We all know he wasn't. But there was another side to Den. Some of you never got to see that side. But some of us did. And that's why we're here. There are so many things that could be said, and so many that probably shouldn't. And in the end, I decided that my words probably didn't count much. So I found a reading in here that just seems to fit.
Chrissy Watts! Murderer!
Peggy!
Look at you. Standing there like butter wouldn't melt.
Peggy?
Oh, my Lord.
What are you talking about?
Funny. That's just the question I asked Sam.
Look, Peggy, we've been through all this.
And this time, I actually listened to the answer.
Peggy, this really isn't the time or place.
This is exactly the time and place to tell the whole world what a lying little tart she is.
Blimey.
Dressed in your widow's weeds, Bible in your hand, pouring your heart out. When all the time, it was you put him in that box in the first flaming place.
Sam put Den in that box, Peggy.
Tell him. Tell us all before it's too late. Go on. Get it off your chest. Do something right for once in your miserable little life. Tell us what you did to him. Tell him you're sorry.
Peggy, I've had enough of this.
I said tell him! Peggy, tell Den you're sorry. Tell Den!
Patch the CCTV footage straight through to the grid, get me Tomahawk on a secure line, red flash the entire team.
Spooks, the one to watch tonight at 9. And next here on BBC One, we're lifting the bonnet on second-hand car dealers in Rogue Traders in a moment. And Chrissy Watts, murderer, is the subject on EastEnders Revealed on BBC 3 now.